Okay, today we're going to make a geometric line design. I'm going to start a new document so you can see how to set that document up. First thing you need to do is obviously need to open Illustrator, and you need an 11 by 17 document. And this is going to go horizontally. We're doing this because if we are able to print them this semester, this is the largest that the print shop can have. So if it doesn't come up in your recents, go to print, enter 17 inches width, 11 inches height. Again, make sure inches right there, and then it is horizontal. And then you're going to hit create. And then we're going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. Okay. The first thing that you need to do is you need to create a brush that will make these geometric lines, and then you can apply it to your design. So I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to make a rectangle, a long, skinny rectangle, and it's important that that rectangle be black fill, no stroke. So make sure to uncheck the stroke. So it should have the no sign going through the stroke, but we have a black fill. Go back to the black arrow, hover over the rectangle. You're holding Option, and you're clicking and dragging another rectangle. Now, if you click and drag and you do not see Smart Guides, which are those little pink lines and information that pop up when you scroll, you need to go to View and make sure that your Smart Guides right here is check marked, okay? After you've done your first one and drug it, then you need to hit Command D multiple times. After hitting Command D multiple times, and it's up to you how many times, that is your choice. We're going to select every other rectangle. So we're going to start with the second one. I'm holding Shift, and I'm going to select the fourth one, and the sixth one, and the 8th one, and the 10th, and the 12th, and the 14th, and in this case there's 16. Now I'm going to change that from black to white. They need to be white fill and black stroke. But also important, you cannot have a white one on either end. So I need to select that and delete it. So we should be able to select all of this and see that this is a series of rectangular bars. We've got black, white, and it repeats itself, ending again with black. No white on either end, and even more importantly, no stroke, whether on the black one or the white one, no stroke. Now we select all of that. And we're going to go into our brushes panel. If you do not see your brushes panel, go to Window and Brushes. And here's what you're going to do. We're going to make a new brush with this configuration of rectangles. I'm selecting them all with the black arrow. I'm going to this piece of paper, which means New Brush. I click on that. When I click on that, I get this menu box that asks me what type of new brush do I want. I need to select Art. Then I say OK. After that, it's asking me for the options related to the new art brush. I'm going to allow everything else to be default. If you've done this correctly thus far, you should see the key color show up as black, not white. So that's really important to take notice of. Black, it should automatically show up as the key color, not white. And then I'm going to say OK. Now you can see right here is where that new art brush number 1 is. If you wanted to title it before you saved it, you can. You can call it Stripes or whatever you want to call it. But that's what it is. It's the new art brush 1 that we just created. Now I come back here. These I no longer need. I select them and hit delete. Go to the 4th tool down on the right hand side. Hit line segment. Holding Shift, click and drag that line segment. And we're going to now apply the brush we just made. And there you go. You can see that it straddles the line and puts it in the center based on the stripes that I just made. Now, we're going to make circles. Go to the rectangle tool, go down to ellipse, holding Option and Shift, make a circle. Doesn't really matter how big it is because now you're going to apply that art brush. Here's the important part. Choosing the black arrow, holding Shift, you're going to resize the circle until you're, I have to go backwards and change the setting. So I'm going to delete this circle. There was a problem with that because I haven't fixed my settings. I need to go to Illustrator, Preferences, General, and in that panel, I'm going to see this right here, Scale, Stroke, and Effects. I need to uncheck that and say OK. And here's why. I'm going to make a circle, Option Shift, click and drag. I'm going to apply my art brush. I'm going to hold V for the move tool. Now I'm holding Shift and I'm dragging this in. I am looking for the middle white dot to be similar in width or diameter, however you want to look at it, to the white rings in my design here. Let's go back just a little bit. And I think that's pretty close. And you can just eyeball this. After you've done one, black arrow select, hold Option, click and drag, make a second circle of rings, Option, click and drag, there's a third, Option, click and drag, there's a fourth. Now, you need these lines for your design, but we also need a 3/4 circle, a quarter circle, a half circle, and a whole circle. We are going to be building a pattern of a series of these geometric lines throughout the entire project. And so to have that, you need a whole, a 3/4, a half, and a quarter. And that's what we're creating here. So come back to this first one. We're going to leave it whole. Click on the second one. We are on the black arrow, the V. I'm going to zoom into that. We're going to now go to the scissors tool. It may not be on top. You probably will see the eraser tool and you will have to click on it and go down to the second tool, which is scissors. Once scissors is on top, to get back to scissors, all you have to do is hit the letter C. So V to go back to the move tool and C to go back to scissors. So you can toggle back and forth pretty easily. Now we're on this circle. I'm on the C, the scissors. I'm going to click there and hit delete. That is now my 3/4 circle. Now I'm going to come back here, V, I'm going to click here, I'm going to zoom in. I'm hitting C to go back to scissors. I'm clicking here. I'm going to hit delete. I'm then going to click here. To use the scissors tool, you cannot be on an exterior point. You have to be on an interior point along a path. So we're going to click there and then hit delete. I have this straggling line here, so I hit delete again. And now we have our half circle. Okay, letter V, go here. Now I'm going to zoom in. Now we need a quarter. We're going to the letter C for the scissors. We're going to click here. We're going to hit delete. We're going to click here. We're going to hit delete. We're going to hit delete for those lines. And again, we're going to click down here and hit delete again and hit delete again for this blue line. And there is our 1/4 of our circle. So now I have all the components that I need to make my geometric line design. Okay, so there's my straight lines, my whole, my half, my 3/4, and my quarter. What we're going to need to do, and we made these pretty large just so they were easy to see, we are going to grab all of those now, and then here's where we have to go back and change it. I'm going back to Illustrator, Preferences, General. Now I need Illustrator to recognize the scale of my strokes and effects, and I say OK. So now I'm going to click all of this. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to bring it all back down, make it kind of smaller. I'm going to tuck it here on the outside of the page so that I can work with it, and then I'm going to bring this in. Let me come out a little bit so we can see that. So this is obviously not on the paper, and the white is the paper. And we're going to close the brushes panel for right now. So using these, I'm going to build my design. Now, one thing you need to understand, if you want to turn something, if you hold Shift, you can turn it in 90-degree increments, which is really important, okay? So you're going to start your design. I don't want to use up any of these over here. I want to duplicate them. If I need them for my design, they need to be duplicated. So I'm going to click here, Option and drag. And let's go ahead and actually put this in the center of the paper, and we'll just start there. I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to turn it on the horizontal. And let's just start with a 3/4. Option and drag so that I don't take up the original. and I can lock in my pink lines. So I know that it's lined up because my smart guides tell me that it's lined up. I'm using the arrow key to move that over. Okay? The arrow key. Now, this is not lined up because I have to, again, it has to go somewhere. There's my, again, my smart guides tell me that I'm lined up and I'm connected. Now, if I wanted this over or under, here's where I go to Object, Arrange, and I can bring that to the front. I can do that, or I can have it the way it was, Object, Arrange, Send to the back. So either one is okay. You're going to need to understand Object, Arrange to do this assignment. Okay, so then I can go here, Option, Drag. I'm holding Shift. Let's flip it this way. Okay, and then I'm going to lock it in right there. And I can use the arrow key because I know because of my smart guides I'm already lined up. And then once they touch, I shouldn't move it anymore. And we might see a little bit of variation, but it's very little. And you will continue to do designs such as this until you fill your page with an entire pattern or design, however you want to call it, of these geometric lines over and under and crossing around, and that's what we will do. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to fill your entire page. If during the semester we're altering the color, I can show you that during class time. But if we are not altering the color, the black and white, it looks really good, and we can even reverse the black and the white. So good luck with this project, and thank you for listening.